time now for Coming In Hot with Brent Wallace and former Ottawa Senator Jason York.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Brent Wallace alongside with Jason York and Graham Nichols from the Hockey News. Gentlemen, good morning. Nice to see you. Shortly, Alex Daigle will join us. He just has to take the kids to school. And then
I think
does he pack their lunch? We'll have to ask them.
I think he's got to take the dog to the groomers. He's got like a list. He's got kids' school, dogs, groomers, and then I think that's it. I think that's his morning. Then he's going to join us 9:20.
Look forward to it. This show is always brought to you by Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Use code NATION. So what else is? Oh, it's perhaps the last game of the NHL season tonight. We'll get into that too with Alex when he shows up. But do we think this might be the end?
No.
Yeah.
We'll go 7. 100%. It's last year's script all over again.
I don't know. We had a big powwow out in front of my house this morning. I have the guys over to get my driveway paved. I've got a shed being built. There's about 8 of us back there discussing. And I'd say 80% of the guys think it's done. I'm of that opinion too. Edmonton, they look tired. And rightfully so. Those two guys have played so much, McDavid and Drytle. Like, they've got to be exhausted right now, fellas. Like, I don't know, all that the travel, the playing so much. You got Marchand all over you. You got Tkachuk. You're getting hit all the time. Like, it's 2 men against the world. Like, that's a lot to ask.
It just seems like every time one of the teams gets spanked, they come back in the next game and then win. So I don't know.
All right. Fair enough.
I will say this. Like, McDavid's unreal, and playoff Leon might be my favorite player in the playoffs. Like, he's just that guy is just, for a skilled guy, Graham and Wally. Leon Drytle is such a beast in the playoffs. I just love how he plays. He just plays inside the dots, big goals, clutch goals. What's the record he just set? Was it overtime winners?
Overtime in a playoff year.
I'd love to see him win. I'd love to see him win. I know good friend Andy Scott represents him. Just love how he plays, and he's so clutch. But man, Florida's good. They are so good.
So Mr. Drytle is on the German Olympic team, as I just announced the 6 players for everybody. Tim Stützle on that team as well. Obviously, Brady Tkachuk on for Team USA. Does anybody find it interesting that the current reigning Hart Trophy winner was not named as one of the 6 for Team USA in Connor Hellebuck?
Oh, that's right. Hey, I saw that. That's
do people care about these lists that much, though? Like, you're talking about,
I don't.
Like, you're talking about like one of the best teams.
I get it.
MVP.
MVP's like double trophy winner, but regular season playoffs are 2 different things, right? And Olympics is playoff. It's playoff intensity, right? There's regular season and there's playoffs and Olympics and best on best. So that resume is not very good when the pressure's on, right?
I know.
So it's, man, yeah.
He can't be left off the team. I mean, yes, he can.
Did another goalie? I didn't see the list.
No.
Okay. Imagine that
they
if
didn't announce a goalie, I don't believe.
It's pretty crazy when you think about it too, because the 2 guys that were the go-to guys, Ottinger and Hellebuck, he had one that lost again in the playoffs, was okay, and then the other who got called out by his coach. And it's amazing how quickly things change in the NHL, right? Like, these guys were unquestioned. Now there's question marks, but who's after those 2 guys? I don't even like who are the next U.S. goalies in line after those 2 fellas?
Oh, who am I forgetting?
Who we missing? Who we missing? Guys?
Dustin Wolf's there. Jordy Cord, Swayman,
Swayman, right? Like,
He had it. Swayman had a terrible year. So
he had a great World Championship. And don't just
stop it. Stop it with, okay, how did Team Canada do at the World Championship, Wally? The team Are you telling me?
Okay, so you know what? Let's forget anybody else's talent because Team Canada didn't win at the World. So you know what, Jeremy Swayman, you're terrible. You can just forget life.
Team Canada lost to Denmark, Wally.
We're not talking about Team Canada. I'm talking about Team USA and playing as a goaltender. This has nothing to do with Sidney Crosby, for the love of...
It has everything to do with the amount of intensity that is played at the World Championships, which isn't even close to the Olympics, Four Nations, playoffs. It's guys are going over there for a holiday. They're pounding pints. They're playing hockey.
You're going to tell me the gold medal game guys don't give a shit now.
Okay. When your career's down and you're sitting back in your office and you're telling stories to your buddies, man, that time I won the World Championships, it was the greatest time of my career. And no disrespect, like it's awesome. It's Team Canada and all that. But it's not even close to the Stanley Cup playoffs. There's no way.
I did not once did I compare it to any event. But at that event, at that time, he stood on his head and was outstanding.
Oh, there's all kinds of guys that score tons of goals over there. Well, here's case in point. One of Ottawa's best all-time goal scorers. What's the name of the kid that scored 30 in Chicago? Had an unbelievable World Championship, and then he came to Ottawa. Oh shit, he can't score, but he scored at the World Championships. What's that guy's name, Graham?
How far back are we going? Are we going like or are we going like Tyler Arneson?
No, the guy that played in Detroit, and he's so good. I forget his name. Not the cat.
Well,
the right shot guy that played for Detroit, and he scored 30.
Dominic Kubalik from Young Zach.
Dominic Kubalik, who was the leading scorer at the World Championship. Wally, my God! Well, he did it there. He should be able to score in the NHL. He led the World Championship in scoring.
Yorkie, that's not what we're saying.
What are you saying?
Oh, can we? You know what?
Graham, listen to me. Listen to this guy.
I still have to make the saves as a goalie.
I get what you're both saying. Okay, but it's like I think this year felt a little different because you have guys like McKinnon and Crosby going over to compete.
They're a great roster.
Yeah. And they lost to Denmark.
But that's the problem with the international game, though, right? Like the international game, it's like we're gonna line 5 guys up at the blue line. We're gonna try and win 1-0, and that's it. It's like Switzerland back in the day when Gerber was standing on his head making like 67 saves and. You know,
I'm telling Wally, how many times do I have to tell you? Real pressure brings out the best and the worst in some people. It is what it is. Some people can handle it. Some people can't handle it. And you see it in the playoffs every year with goaltenders that can't get it done. But, oh, God, the World Championship, he played good over there. So
you're such, you know what? I'm not even going to talk with you today. Graham, it's nice to see you. I hope
nice to see you too. Nice to see you too, Yorkie. Speaking of the World Championships, we haven't talked about this at all, but Daigle mentioned at that Sens Spring Summit, they tried to sign someone, an unrestricted free agent, out of that World Championships. So someone who played well, was on the radar, and ultimately they didn't sign him. He said,
"Well, it doesn't matter. You'd be a shitty player at the Worlds."
Listen, this is what happens.
The next Kubalik, though. Could have been the next Kubalik.
This is what happens. You can't get down to hockey talk right away. No chit. We didn't no chit chat. We didn't talk about your bowling game last night. Can't just get right into these heavy topics. We get ornery quickly. Like it's morning coffee here.
Did you have your chocolates yet? Because that usually settles you down.
Chocolates. We only have the Purdy's chocolate, salted caramel.
Are you wearing a bowling shirt right now, Wally?
Oh no, that's good. At least I'm not in my jammies.
Jammies. It's just a t-shirt. It's just a t-shirt.
Looks like you just rolled out of bed.
What are you talking about?
Chocolates don't come out. Chocolates only come out for the 3:00 show. Okay. I get it. Morning shows, coffee and a vanilla scone.
All right, we're just gonna move on. Is what we're gonna do. Let's take care of some business, and then I got some stuff before Alex Day gets here. Graham, we'll get you at Club EG here in a sec. This show brought to you by Charm Diamond Centers. Proudly Canadian owned and operated since 1972 with more than 85 locations across the country through Charm and their sister brands. Get custom ring building delivered in less than 4 weeks with the Charm Masterpiece Program and an unbeatable pricing policy. Don't pay until 2026. Apply for the Charm Diamond Flexity card today and get approved for no interest financing on your purchase in minutes. For more information, go to charmdiamondcenters.com. Everybody now. Chosen forever. Charm Diamond Centers.
It's like 3 cats on a fence in an alley singing that song.
Someone out there, there's enjoying it.
Again.
Yeah. Coming in hot is also brought to you by the City Match Play Championship. The City Match Play Championships takes place in Ottawa. It's for golfers of every skill level. There's a division for any skill, any age, and yes, males and females. Check out the details at citymatchplay.golf. Individual divisions, team divisions. There's no reason to not to play in this great city championship since they cater to even those who shoot over 100. You always compete against someone with similar skill. Check it out at citymatchplay.golf.
Yorkie, by chance, do you have Merkley?
No.
Okay. Merkley has over a century of passion and expertise in the highest quality masonry supply. From Canada's Supreme Court to your home front steps, no matter your project, Merkley is proud to set it in stone. Don't forget, they will deliver anywhere in the surrounding areas of the Ottawa Valley and area. If you're looking for stone, brick, landscaping products, specialty building supplies, just count on Merkley Supply to have it for you. Go to merkleysupply.com or visit their showroom in Hindenburg. Merkley, mark every milestone. And of course, by Gabriel Pizza, the official pizza of Coming Hot, and by the Ottawa Senators. Download the Gabriel Pizza app, earn points with every order, and unlock exclusive deals through the Gabriel Pizza perks. Go to gabrielpizza.com, check out the app for daily specials. Gabriel Pizza, bigger, better Gabriel. All right, let's go right to, before Alex gets here, Brent's basement giveaway. Final day number 3. It's a doozy. Look, get a license plate. I got some USB drives, one with the Sens Heritage logo, a deck of playing cards, which I don't know what's on them, but from the NHL Network, and of course, cowboy hat.
What's gonna be on those flash drives? You're gonna have like old family photos on those flash drives?
No, just pictures of me. Just pictures of me.
Where are you finding all this stuff?
Just cleaning up the basement. So, if you want those, and trust me, I know a lot of you do, just email cihsends@gmail.com. cihsends@gmail.com. Get your hands on a couple World Championship pens that Yorkie loves, and your World Championship hard drives, or USB sticks, I should say. It's a collector's item for sure.
Yeah.
Brent's basement giveaway.
Brent,
brought to you by Brent.
My dog just came in, literally just opened the door to my office and stuck her head in to see what was going on. Hold on. I got to go shut the door.
What is... Could you not have shut the door when we started the show?
He can't answer you, Brent. He's away from the mic.
No, I don't want him. It's basically a rhetorical question. I know the answer. It could have been yes.
There you go. You're getting questions on the USB drive.
There we go. No, it's good. She wanted to know what's going on. Like, she heard all these. She doesn't like arguing, Wally. Charlie likes. So this is what happens. You don't do the chit chat. Charlie gets upset.
Huh. I will say, if Gertie's around and the voices become louder, usually Lisa yelling at me, Gertie will leave the room.
Oh yeah, dogs yeah. sense anxiousness, and they don't like fighting. So, you know what? Lesson to be learned. You got to start the show with chit chat. And Charlie came in the office, wanted to see what's going on in there. Oh, it's getting tense.
Jack Lucas is not happy with me this morning. Way to go, Wally! You've made both Yorkie and his dog annoyed this morning.
Oh God. It is a circus outside right now at my place. The driveway's getting paved. I got sod. I'm trying to make sure it stays alive because, okay, did we get an answer to this, Wally? New sod. Does it have to be soaked or just moist?
Yes. So someone did reply. I don't know if I'll find it in time. Keep that thing, like, there was a few people, and so people have differing opinions, but there is basically, you got to keep it wet. And I just had my lawn seeded something other, and they're like, you got to keep it wet for 14 to 21 days to try and get it germinate. So if it dries, Yorkie, it dies. That's the motto.
If it dies, it dies. Quickly, Wally, what movie is that from?
It dies.
What movie is that from? Come on. If he dies, he dies.
Scarface?
Rocky, when he fights Daigle.
Drytle,
beginning of the movie, fights Apollo Creed. Apollo Creed dies in the round, and Drago's after, and he goes, if he dies, he dies. One of the best lines of all Rocky movies. Ivan
Right.
Drygle. No clue what I'm talking about. Eh?
No, I've seen the movie. It didn't really resonate with me since it just wasn't that good.
So if we do a trivia night, Wally's just not getting the movies at all, right?
You'd be surprised though, because normally in trivia nights it's the award winners, and I'm pretty much up on all the award winners. I know everything.
I could see you like if you go to like a geography category, maybe history. I could see you good with that. Like maybe
you dial me in for history.
Yes, you're an old historian. Maybe English literature. Maybe perhaps that. What's your degree? What'd you take in school?
Broadcasting.
I know, but well, you couldn't have just took broadcasting. There had to be some minors. Nobody. When you go to broadcasting school, you don't do 4 years of just.
It was 11 months.
That's it. Eh?
I went to UNB for a year.
Mm-hmm.
I was taking physical education. It was going to be a phys ed teacher, something to do with that. They asked me not to come back.
You were going to be a phys ed, but you're not very athletic.
There's lots of old fat guys who are athletic PE teachers.
So what happened? Like on the first day of class, they handed out the sweatpants for all the students, and then
no.
That's it. You're like, I got my free sweatpants. I'm out of here.
No, I didn't do well. I didn't perform up to my.
You don't know how to teach sports? Like I don't understand.
You have to take. Come on now, you two clowns. You have to take other classes like math, calculus, English, or like.
Picture showing up, grade 9 high school class. There's Coach Wally there. Back in the day too, you probably had the high Adidas shorts that you used to wear back in the
with the matching
80s,
bag,
with the tube socks up to the knees with the stripe on them.
Giant stopwatch.
And then the big, massive leather Adidas bag with all his trinkets in there for gym class. All right, students, let's go. Gonna start off with some calisthenics. And then we're going to play some German ball.
I'll be in my office having a dart.
Oh, my God. Do they even teach phys ed at school anymore? Like,
oh my God. Yes, Yorkie.
I don't know.
So, and then I went to a broadcasting school. Okay.
And here we are. And now here you are doing a podcast with us two. All those years of broadcasting.
Sorry, I missed. What degree did you get?
I went to broadcasting school.
You went to the NHLPA sponsored one, which is like free snacks in a boardroom.
No, well, it was hardcore. It was at I got it on my LinkedIn profile. Graduate from Quinnipiac University. It was a high intense 1 week, 14 hours a day of broadcasting. Well, I had to do play-by-play for an independent league, single A, I think it was below single A baseball game. So basically up in the stands, like, so-and-so's up to bat, and he swings and misses, strike 3. And I had no idea what any of these guys' names were. Had to go down to the field and interview these guys, get some storylines for the broadcast. Then we did a mock Sports Center. So I'd love, you know what, I got to find the footage to these videos because I'm absolutely horrendous doing this stuff. But I think I've got the DVD. This is how old it was. It's on a DVD somewhere in the house. I wonder if we could get that and download it. And it would be, you know what, maybe when we get Biz up back on the show, and everyone has to smoke the joints, we watch this DVD of me doing the broadcast because we're going to need it because, oh, God, it's bad.
I just found, by the way, my VHS demo reels. And
Really?
We're not showing them.
Exactly.
You know,
Like day 4 of the basement giveaways.
Hey, listen, this broadcasting school, it was the first ever for the NHLPA. And I will say this, they do a really good job with ex-players. Like they try and help guys out. But you know who was in my class? It was the class of 2008. Glenn Anderson, ex-Edmonton Oiler.
Hall of Fame.
Bill Ranford was in that class. Gary Volk. Phil Bork, who played for the Sens, broadcaster for Bob McGill was in that class. There's There's only 12 of us. Who am I missing? I can't remember everybody else, but those were the names I remember. But yeah, it was
How was
good.
the graduation party, Yorkie?
The grad, yeah, we didn't get a grad.
Did you have a prom?
Yeah.
I got a plaque here somewhere. I got a plaque.
David Harris is asking if this episode is on track, and no, it is not. So we're moving on. I'd like to welcome into the show, please. Oh wait, but I always forget. Okay, Jake, I'm ready now. Run the opening.
The Sens Summer Series.
There he is.
Yo,
What's up, Diggy?
Did you not
Where
just see
you?
the opening we made for you?
huh?
What?
It's very
It's
slow.
nice.
The connection is slow. What's going on?
All right.
Diggy, how was the? You get
You know
everything
what? I'm
set up?
gonna hang up and I'm gonna put it on my
Yeah.
phone. All right. Just give me.
Okay, deal. See you shortly.
Daigle. Usually he's ready to go. Usually he's a professional. He's still doing the playoffs, by the way, working for TVS Sports. He's been on a high rise to fame with TVS. So no, he's been doing a good job with the he's a natural, Wally. Like we had him on the first time. I knew he'd be good at broadcasting, and he does panel work for TVA, but he's very un-Daigle like. Bad internet connection. We'll have to give it to him when he gets back on here.
So, you know what? Because I spent 36 minutes making the opening, we're going to run it again when he comes back on.
He'll appreciate that. He'll appreciate that.
He's very good. I thoroughly enjoy him. By the way, I quickly forget. Tim Glover, you are the winner of Brent's Basement Giveaway, day number 3. So I'll reach out to you after.
You need like an audio. You need like an audio. Hooray! Like that's what you need.
We do.
Jake, you got to get on that.
Jake has clap. See?
There it is. There it is.
I don't even know where we're at.
Everything's gonna be fine, Wally. Everything's gonna be fine.
Jake, let's go back to Alex, I think. Good morning again. Alex?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
here.
Nice to see you, sir.
Same. Hey, Yorkie, I could hear you when you were saying I was not ready and all that.
I was very un-Daigle. Like you're usually boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, you usually call me in advance as well. And you late last night, desperate. and I showed up, and that's the way you shit on me. Beautiful. Love
Listen. Hey, did you hear the second part of the conversation?
it. No.
I went negative first, but then I went super positive. I said how great you're doing on TV. I said your climb to stardom has been crazy. You're the number one guy there now. Like, come on.
Natural.
Nice.
Called you a
That's
natural.
Called you a
All right.
natural.
But
Got the dog here.
But Alex, Yorkie takes credit for your rise in your broadcasting career, all because he got you.
I don't take credit. I just said people needed to see his personality because I knew he was going to be good at it. Don't
Very
mix
nice,
words.
Yorkie. And I think that was the first podcast I did, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was the first one. That was
That's
the first
right.
one. Yeah.
So, yeah, you were.
So we now get 10%
Part of
of
it.
all your contract earnings.
You'll find us there.
Well, it's a different business. Nobody, that salary is not divulged. Unfortunately, you know that, Wally.
Yeah, I do.
You'll happen today. Everybody will make more money.
What's been going on? Oh, you're doing you're almost a full-time broadcaster now.
Yeah, well, I did about 100 games this year. Wow. So, yeah, with the playoffs. And, I'm doing the final this year. So it's great. It's been a good run. I love it. And I'm going to do it next year. And hopefully TV8's get the French rights. It's not in negotiation now. So hopefully we get them.
How was the morning? So I was telling the guys, so you had the kids drop off at school, dog groomers. What goes on in the morning, in the typical morning for the Daigle? Like,
No, that was not typical. That was, yeah, I had a list. When you called me yesterday, I had a list because my wife, anytime I don't have anything to do, just prep for the game is not enough. Doesn't make sense to her. Yeah. So, yeah, it was kids, dog. I got some workers at the house. So, pretty full morning.
You got to check.
And I got to prepare for game 6. So I got to find something creative to put on TV because, as you know, when you do all the games, game after games, you try to find stuff that, a little bit unknown stuff because the main headline's already written, especially with Edmonton, with the goalies, and it's always the same problem.
I got something. So let's check it off. We've checked off. Dogs are taken care of. Kids dropped off at school. Workers are taken care of. Now we got to get the Daigle a topic for the show to talk about.
Sure.
Wally, you did this for years. Come on. This is your goal. Let's go.
Well, he already alluded to it. And by the way, if you get into game 6 of round 4 and you've covered Canadian teams, there is nothing left to talk about. I can remember when Edmonton was last in the final, 06, is that it? Carolina. They're 2 days in between. They're actually skating in Rye, New York at the Rangers practice facility. And they sent me in to cover it. And I had to do a story on whether Sergei Samsonov was going to be the difference maker of the Cup final.
Sergei Samsonov.
And I can remember Craig McTavish, who's the head coach at the time. I think he winced in pain when I asked him that question. Because normally I go in with an idea of my own. And I was told to do this story. And I'm like, and he's like, are you like, what? So I don't have anything for the Daigle.
Graham?
Dig, is it tough? Like, you played in the Canadian market. Like,
yep.
Is it weird that this goaltending situation in Edmonton's gone on as long as it has? You can't waste the prime years of Connor McDavid or Leon Drytle. Like, at some point you have to fix the goaltending position. Are you surprised it's gone on as long as it has?
I'm so surprised, and it's fun you mentioned that because at the after game 2 days ago, I got out the salaries of those two goalies combined. They're making 3.5 this year. It makes no sense that a first goalie makes 2.5. There's a reason he's worth 2.5, but it's not a number one goalie. That's one thing. And the second, I think you got to look at the defense and the way they're building that team. I like the fact that they've been changing a lot of GMs over there, and now you got Stan Bowman and you get Jackson there, and they think they're great, and they probably are. It's just that when you lose 2 of your first-round draft pick that you've been grooming for years because of salary cap issue, and you get a Nustyle offer, and it changed completely your team because Broberg is a real defenseman that can play in the playoff, and he was proven last year. So you lose that guy, and after that, you're stuck with a Stetcher on defense, number 6. And I'm sure you watch game 4 or game 5. Game 4, I think he played 4 minutes.
He didn't play up in the first period.
Yeah, exactly. You made that mistake that you didn't want to take a check. And so this big concern for me, and you're absolutely right of saying that they're losing the best year of McDavid and Drytle. And I won't be surprised if McDavid doesn't sign there in a year from now. If they don't make drastic changes on defense, he won't have a chance. You know the way they build teams now.
Yeah.
Who can compete with Florida today? Probably Tampa Bay, probably Toronto. And now Toronto, they're all in all, and they're going to make a lot of changes. And they're going to probably Tavares won't be there, probably Marner won't be there. But that's 200 points you gotta bring back to the lineup, and just to compete with Florida. Well, those are the 2 teams really that have a chance. Maybe St. Louis, the way they're building their team.
You don't like Dallas?
I don't like Dallas. I don't like Dallas. I think they're not too far away. That's for sure. Yeah.
Diggy, I got your story for you. What is going on with Matias Ekholm? I regarded this guy as one of the best two-way defensemen in the league. He just hasn't been himself out there because you look at, to your point, if you look at Edmonton's D, like Klingberg was a resurrection project. Like, who knew it was going to happen? He's played pretty well. You mentioned Sketcher. Darnell Nurse is probably a 5-6 on most teams. He's making $9 million. He's played tough and he's played well, but but Ekholm, I know he was hurt for so long, but some of the mistakes he's making in these games, like they're just the difference. You win with, we both know this, you win with defense and goaltending, timely scoring. And if you look at Florida, defense is way better, goaltending is way better.
Yeah.
And the one defense when they have that's, I think, elite in Ekholm, he just hasn't looked like himself.
Well, Ekholm for me is still injured. There's two things. If you look at the 2 goals against the one Marchand, first of all, he's trying to cheat. Hopefully that Marchand will go and try to beat him wide, and he start early and he gets beat inside. And the second one, when he's close to the red line and he doesn't want to take the check, that's the only reason. You know, Yorkie, you play defense. If you don't want to make that 3 feet to go to the red line, why? Well, you're going to get hit, and you don't want to take the check. So those are big red flags for me on Ekholm. Is he injured, or is he, is it the end of the road? I don't know. Yeah. But he's number 2 defenseman over there, and that's a big concern, huge concern. And if you look at Florida, the way they build their D, you get Mikola at $2.5 million, Kulikov at 1.1. You get Schmidt at 800, and you get who's the other one? Doesn't make. You got Forsling at 5.5. I think. What
a bargain at $5 million.
So all those guys, the 4 I'm just named, that you will pick on any championship team, they're making less than Nurse. That's a big concern.
Yeah, it's amazing how well they're slotted there. And you talk about, there's lots of guys on that defense playing way above expectations.
And it's so funny that Forsling was a waiver. They put him on waiver in Carolina. He never played a game, right? Mikkola signed a free agency. Nobody wanted him. Kulikov, nobody wanted him. Schmidt got bought out, and they all go there, and they get into Maurice and Sylvain Lefebvre's system, and they all become good. And Ekblad was a good player, but I think with that system, and they made him realize that he doesn't have to fight, and he's way tougher in the playoff, cross-checking guys that he knows he doesn't have to answer the bell. It's a different player. It's been a different player for the last 3 years because of that.
I forgot that Sylvain Lefebvre back on that bench. You remember him, Diggy, how smart and underrated. He actually made the Olympic team one year, I believe. Like, that's a guy that was kind of, well, he got his due there, but those.
On a footnote on that guy, he lost his job because he didn't want to get the vaccine. And
really?
Look it up. And Paul Maurice called him when he got the job in Florida. He didn't know him, but he just liked the fact that he was a strong-minded type guy, and he believed whatever he believed. Yeah. And he brought him for an interview, got him hired, and the rest, we all know it. Yeah, that's right. He was
I just remember playing against that guy, and Florida's defense plays very similar how to Lefebvre played. Low risk, very smart, move the puck, because Florida's defense moves the puck. It's just get it, move it, get it, move it. It's just seamless, and they never give you a chance to forecheck. But I didn't know that, Diggy. Look at you, eh? You're doing your homework.
We had the same agent about 30 years ago, so I kind of know a little bit, but I know his son a lot, and I played a couple of charity games with his son, and he told me that story. He was in Montreal at his cottage, and he got the call. He thought his career was over. Gotcha. That will never coach in the NHL again. Huh. And out of the blue, a guy that he met him a couple of times, but he didn't know him, got the job. So good for him. Made a big impact on a lot of players on D, changed their careers.
Yep.
I want to ask you about Claude Giroux. Now, I'm sure you've heard the rumors that he may not be signing, or that Montreal is a possible destination. You think Claude wants to play in Montreal, or do you think, because we're now close to 2 weeks today is free agent day, that he may go to market?
Like,
this deal should be done, should it not?
Yeah, it should be done. I think it's a good player. I think it's a veteran player that you need in Ottawa. Depth is key in the playoff, as you know. and as we see, I don't think he's going to go to Montreal. I wouldn't advise it. I think Ottawa is way closer with a couple of changes to win the cup. Well, be in contention than Ottawa and than Montreal. So, but at the same time, it's tough to blame a guy who's 2 weeks away to go to free agency. Like at the end of the day, it's probably his last contract and maximize everything. And you got to have teams, Toronto will be in the mix, I'm sure. Dallas, like you said. So I would roll the dice if I were him, because it's, that deal should have been done 6 months ago.
That's what I think. I just think and that may be Claude's decision, right? Like, it may not be done because Claude wants to go to market. We just don't know. But I would have thought that if this was a deal that he wanted to be here and the Sens wanted him here, that this would have been done a long time
ago.
Well,
the thing is, I hope that a lot of guys that are in this situation and Marchand's situation, you've been playing for a team for so long, and now they try to get a hometown discount. And the other thing is playing on the third line on a winning team or on a first line on an average team, huge difference. And I just hope like a Crosby, those guys, they see it and they give themselves another run at it like Marchand's doing.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy what Marchand's doing. 37 years old, Diggy. Like, it's all the old guys now. Like, you're like, oh, this is great. We're all going to make more money now because guys like that, like you know how it works. Like, he could.
It's the love of the game, buddy. Stop talking about the money. What's going on? What's wrong?
Straight from the guy that changed the money of the game.
Yeah.
Right. What do you think on Marchand? Like, isn't it crazy what he's doing right now? Everybody thought he was done. Florida gets it, and this guy could win the Conn Smythe.
Absolutely. It's going to be him or Bennett. I would say people forgot that he had a concussion in the playoff last year, that sneaky punch from Bennett, and he had 3 surgeries in the summer as well. So coming back from one injury is a tough thing. Coming back from a concussion, you never know. So this guy was battling it out. And plus, he battled it out against Don Sweeney just to get an extension. The fuck was that? It makes no sense. But he had an average season, and he arrived in Florida. It was not great. He didn't play that well. It's just, I don't know. He clicked at the right time. So I'm very, very, very happy for him. Yeah. And I hope, and I think he understands his role, which is a third line with Mini Barkov, Lundo, who's amazing.
Wow. So good.
And now you're playing, he's very good, and he's playing against the third pair D in the final. Do you imagine during the season playing against the third pair of every team?
Yeah.
He's going to have 60 to 70 points this year just playing with those guys.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and I wish and I hope that he signs for Florida because of family reasons. His family, his mom and dad live in Jupiter. So I think that would make a lot of sense for him.
Alex, don't want to circle too far back, but just regarding Giroux, you mentioned Montreal, how you don't think that'd be a great fit for Claude right now if he wants to win and compete for a cup right away. But from Montreal's perspective, is that the kind of veteran that they would love to bring into the fold to help some of the younger players?
100%. 100%. I think, first of all, they're undersized and they're too young. So, I'm not sure it's the right free agent on that sense, but they have no second centerman. People forget that 3 years ago they traded for Kirby Dach at the draft. Had a good start, broke his knee, came back. I think last year got injured again, and he was minus 29 the first. Minus 29. It was tough to do, like half a season.
That's a lot of work.
That's not going to work. And they switch him to wing, so they have a big hole in the middle. So they need a veteran. Is it Claude Giroux? I don't think there will be too many guys on the market. So if I were them, 100% I will go get him. I think you need another voice for those kids. They have nobody.
It couldn't have been that hard, Alex. You were a minus 30 and then a minus 33.
Look at Wally. Yeah. Oh, God. Unprecedented attack, Diggy. Come on.
No. I can't answer to that. I was playing, I was matched up with a guy named Jason York.
Hold on. What's my plus minus from that year? Let me go to
No, but that's another thing, when you go to the NHL from junior, it's a different game. You have to understand how to play defense, and on a young team, it's super tough. I'm not saying Montreal. I think Montreal is an average team, but it's not San Jose either. So you need that growth. You need to lose, and you need to understand how to play from junior, because if you're an offensive player in junior, nobody teaches you how to play defense, because mostly you have the puck all the time. So it's a big change. So there's a big growth factor, but when you Kirby Dak at 24, I think that boat is pretty much out of the gate, and I don't think Montreal is going to have a lot of patience on him.
Alex, you took a lot of heat early on because people expected the world of you. Your numbers in your first year, you scored 20 goals, you have 50 plus points. You look at the production of rookies that are coming in the league now, you're on par. You're just hey, I was right where I was supposed to be at that time.
Yeah, but a Canadian market, we talked about that earlier. Canadian market is a different beast. And expectations, come from yourself, but come from the media and come from fans. So when the narrative the first day is score, 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 score. And plus, I was coming out of the end of the 80s, beginning of the 90s. There was a lot of scoring, but that thing shut down when Jacques Lemaire and the Devils and everybody picked it up. It was a tougher game in the 90s than people expected. I'd like to see, points and goal per game, but there was way less guys with 100 points or 80 points because of the system. And hooking and the red line, when they switched that, I think it was 2004. It was great timing for Crosby and all those guys. They took out the hooking, and it changed the game. So, yeah, all those factors. But when you're living it, I think the first instinct when everybody was scoring 120 points and you come in at 50, doesn't sound great. So
you know what, though? If you watch the one sec on the documentary, because it changed exactly how I perceived you 100%, because the thing with today's athlete, they're protected. You weren't protected at all media-wise. You were just I watched some of the questions and cringe, right? That all mental side of it is a huge part.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a good thing. I think the agents are doing their jobs. They're adding a little bit more support. I think another factor that it's on the open is the sports psychologist. I think we were the only sports, all the individual sports always had that, the golf and I think that's gonna go a long way. Yeah.
Also, too, when Diggy came into the league, when I came into the league, the environment wasn't welcoming for young players.
No.
Guys, it's not like today. When you're a high pick, the support is incredible. Before, you're kind of on your own. I remember when I was in Detroit, Keith Primeau was a high first round pick, and he was getting in fights in practice because guys were challenging him, and guys were riding him hard. You really had, it was just a totally different. It's you're put into the jungle and you got to survive. And it was almost like the GMs and everybody wanted it. It's okay, let's see how mentally tough this kid is. We're going to put him in this situation every practice. It's nowadays, I don't want to be that guy that says it was just totally different, Wally, where even if you were drafted in the first round, you still had to kind of go through this test of a survival test where everyone's, I don't know, Diggy, did you feel that way?
No, absolutely. Another thing, you remember free agency was 32 years old.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And in 91, they opened up salaries, so everybody knew everybody was making. So I arrived in 93, my salary is out. And there's a lot of resentment because the guy who's 26, he's stuck. He's got another 6 years to cash out.
Yeah.
And everybody was bitter, but nobody realized that it's the best thing for everybody, that everybody knows how much you're making, because now you can negotiate that way. But it took a while for people to get it. And when we all did, it was smoother, but it took a while. So that was another resentment aspect that it made no sense between us. It was the best thing ever. You see a rookie making money. What does that mean? Hey, buddy, it's my turn. So, but it did switch, but it took a while.
Just quickly, did you get paid? Were you Canadian or US? You were probably Canadian at the time, right?
Yeah, it was one of the last contract in '94 during the lockout. They changed that.
Yeah, because that's when Alfie. Because they also did the 24% rollback, so Alfie got hammered that year.
Yeah,
he was paid in Canadian anyway.
But Diggy, when they switched the salaries over, I'm trying to remember. They basically, if you were making, let's just say 500,000 Canadian, and you went to a U.S. market, I think they just said, okay, you're making 500 U.S. now. Like they didn't prorate it, right?
I don't think so.
I think you're right.
Yeah, because if you went the other,
I was in Canada, so it didn't really affect me. But as far as I was still paid in Canadian money.
Even when you went to Philly, though,
I think it was my last year, right? So I got to track back, but I don't recall that, Yorkie.
If you could just send us your bank
It
statement.
made no sense because it was 40% on the dollar or something like that.
I remember the only reason I remember this was I was in Anaheim in 1994-95. Do you remember a guy named Dave Karpa?
Of course.
Defenseman. Carps.
Righty defenseman.
Oh, yeah. From Indian Head, Saskatchewan. So Carps gets traded to Anaheim, and I think he was making about 150,000 Canadian in Quebec. Gets traded to California, so he doesn't get there. He basically would say every 2 weeks he'd go cash his paycheck at the bank because everybody else is making all kinds of money, and Karpa's making, in NHL standards, a lot less compared to guys like Korea and that. But yeah, no, I remember that. It was like they just said, if you're making this, it goes to the exact same in US, vice versa, which I found really weird.
Wow, I would have loved that.
Quickly, the last time I saw you was in Ottawa. You were sitting in the stands with one Tampa Bay Lightning assistant general manager, Mathieu Darche.
Yes.
Now he's not. He is the GM of the Islanders.
Yeah.
Did you know at that point anything was up, or like a possibility that whatever? I know his name's been mentioned for a while. And two, how do you think he's going to do?
Every time a GM job came up, he was always in the front running. So I was not that surprised. I called it on TV, was going to get that job without speaking to him. The only reason I said that is because I look at the ownership structure, and the two guys are the main shareholders. They all went to Harvard, and Darche went to McGill Business School. So I knew the conversation will go more towards that. I had a feeling it would. And the competition was between him and Bergevin. So I had I don't know. I had just a hunch that he will get it. So he did. How's he going to do? I think he's got the first round pick. So that's going to help. And it's going to be
not a bad way to start.
Yeah, it's going to be a defenseman with Dobson. So if you can build that way, their goal is okay. But major work on some forward they got to bring in. I don't know if he's going to build it like Tampa Bay was built, because Tampa Bay was built on high draft pick superstars, and that won't be the case. But great pick lower rounds like third and Kucherov, Point. Those guys made them what they are. So and. I think he fired everybody as far as on the scouting, or I think
you want your own guys.
He's got a lot of work to build it. It's going to take 2 or 3 years. I don't know what he sold, but as you know, a GM, you sell a 5-year plan, and hopefully it does well after 3. You sign another deal for another 5 years. You get 10 years in the lead at $2-3 million. You get $30 million back in your account. That makes a lot of sense.
Right to the dollars and cents.
No, but you think about it, we're all in, of course, we love the game, and it's our family, and it's our career and everything, and you want to prolong it. What do? You need to have the first 3.5 years are key for those guys. Yeah. Any GM in the league, unless you're Lamoriello at 80 years old. But if you're from 50 to 55, well, because if you lose that job, it's not easy. There's only 32 jobs, and they come up every 4 or 5 years.
Diggy, Does the Stanley Cup get handed out tonight in Florida?
Yes. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
very sadly. Yep.
Edmonton's done.
I
We don't know
called
who their goalie
Florida
is.
in 6 at the beginning of the series.
Oh,
because
again.
again. I know. I felt bad. I was on the two guys on the panel here that because everybody is very pro Edmonton. I just didn't feel like their defensemen can sustain that type of punishment. And their third line of Florida super strong, and obviously Bobrovsky. When you're switching goalies in the playoff, that's not a good thing. And
Hey, this is starting to remind me of when Diggy and I used to go out to start the hockey games, and everybody would be patting each other on the shin pads. Diggy's never afraid to give the old pat on the back.
Love a pat on the back.
I called it, buddy.
Yes, you did.
but it breaks my heart because, like you said, you got McDavid and Drytle. McDavid is, for me, it's the best player I've ever seen.
Really?
Live.
Best you've ever seen?
Oh, yeah. Against the competition, he's, wow. Like the speed, the moves. Lemieux, he come from my hometown. He's 6'4", and he was dominating. And yes, he's the best player that I played with, that I saw. But McDavid just brought it to the next level as far as all around hockey player, and it's going to be very sad if they keep putting teams like that around him, because his career is not going to go up. It's always going to come down after 30. He's still going to be a great player, but is it 2-3 years he's got as far as being at that top dominating? Hopefully more. I just hope that they make some move this summer. They got to make moves. If not, then next summer, just pick your team.
Mm-hmm. Alex, last question for me. I grew up in Carp. Grew up with like Curtis Foster, who you played with in Minnesota. He raved about you as a player, teammate when I talked to him years ago. But I just want to talk like your last season in Minnesota. You scored 20 goals, and you had scored 20 goals. Like, how important was that season for you personally?
I would say it ranked number after my first season, because I think every NHL guy wants to prove they can play in the league. That's number one thing, not just one game, but that you belong. This is the most significant season that I had. I came to camp on a pro tryout, and I was fortunate to be put on the line with Brent Burns. And he was a forward at that time. They weren't sure where they want to put him. So his first camp at 18, I think we all know it, but a lot of people don't know that he was super fast before. He was 6'5" and about 185. Now he's 230, and he's playing D. But so we had a great camp, made the team, and for me it was big time validation. And I got a nomination for the Masterton. So it was, it was very feel good thing. And sadly, I met the top coach that I know he's not underrated, but people don't talk about much, is Jacques Lemaire.
Yeah.
He was an older coach with a young mentality. So it opened my eyes, because all my career was always ground and pound, and being like Yorkie said, pay your dues, this and that. And it was never really, let's sit down and figure out your game and where you can excel and where I want you to be. It was always, you're supposed to know. like I don't know. so Jacques exposed me to that type of coaching, and it was awesome. So all around, and the bad luck for me is that was the year that went into a lockout. So we lost the full year. So I couldn't capitalize. I was an unrestricted free agent. So, but
timing
is what it is. And he brought me to Davos after that. So that was another good moment for me.
So did playing with you force Brent Burns to want to be a D?
Well, in a sense, the lockout was amazing for him because they sent him to Houston and they could try things with him.
Yeah.
And he was in junior, he was doing both, and now they really focus on him playing defense, and he came back and they figure it out. That's where he's going to be. And Hall of Fame career now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, one last thing. Graham?
Oh, nice. Hold up. There it is.
Yeah.
Graham should have probably started the show with this, but yeah.
I was gonna wear it backwards so you can see it right away. But got that as like a Christmas gift when I was really young. So
Oh, that's great.
actually there's a photo. There's like a photo with you and Yashin on the wall right there.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
I only have photos of Yorkie. I apologize.
When's the last time you talked to Yash, Diggy? I thought you guys were tight.
When I got traded to Philly. That would be 28 years ago, my friend.
Man.
He's doing well.
Hey, you got to get back. You got to see Diggy skate. He still skates like he's 25. We connected for a beautiful breakaway pass in our last charity game. This guy's he's like a fine wine. He doesn't get old.
Yorkie, I did the same move 2 weeks ago in Moncton.
Did you?
Down the wing, slapper to garage beer goalie, top shelf. I love it.
Garage beer goalie.
Oh man, the crowd went silent. Just awkward grin.
Were you down?
Oh, kids would say grin. Oh.
Were you down in that charity event? Was like a weekend event in Moncton. Was Sean Donovan there?
Yes, Sean was there. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
Was he flying around as usual? Donald goes hard.
He was flying the first game, the first day, and after that they went down a little bit.
Yeah, too much drinking.
Probably. I don't know.
All right, what's next on the checklist today? You done? How many more things you got to do?
No, I got to prepare the games, so I'm gonna do a couple of hours on each team. Try to be positive on both teams a little bit.
You just said it's over on our show.
Yeah, but still, gotta sell the dream, buddy. I'm selling the dream.
Oh, that's so good. Diggy. Hey, thanks for joining us, bud. You're the best.
Anytime, boys. Is it the last of the season? After that, you're done, or are you doing?
Wally.
This
guy wants to work all summer. He's a workaholic over here.
Oh, you got some big dates though coming. You get 1st of July. You get the draft. Doing all that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We roll through. We roll through.
Our fans demand it.
We demand it, and we give it to them.
Very good.
Anyway, we'll so keep your phone handy. We'll be calling you to come on. See you, buddy.
All right,
Thank you
boys.
for stopping by.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
See ya.
Yeah, Diggy.
There goes the Dig.
Look
The
at him,
Daigle.
right? The Daigle. Hey, what a beauty! What a beauty!
Yeah, he's one of my favorites. Like I will tell you, and I've said this before on the show, but that documentary, The Chosen One, is one of my favorites of all time because it completely changes the narrative of of who you think he is. It's extremely good.
Big family guy. Got a couple kids. Coaches minor hockey. Just loving life right now. Doing some TV. And I'll say this to Diggy's credit. A lot of ex-pros will go on television. They'll do a little bit of work and you'll go on and you can tell he's doing 2 hours prep on each team. So he's taking this seriously, and hey, that's why he's doing the finals. He's invested. So good for him.
I will, you know what? I will always cheer for him to be successful based on what I know about him. Anyway, that's it.
You should have seen Graham when Wally and I actually worked together one time in television.
What?
Wally and I,
Canada.
Two great minds came together for one opportunity. That's a bunch of games on the Stockholm trip to Sweden. So Wally was the in-game host, like he was for the Sens for many years, and I got hired by the NHL to do the color. I think it was Colorado's broadcaster that did play-by-play. So I flew over, and Wally and I had never worked together, and I soon found out how Wally, very similar to this show, likes to prepare. I was inundated with a 50-page summary of both Colorado and Ottawa, every single stat, intricacy, storyline, you name it, was emailed to me in a neat, organized fashion. I will say this, it was awesome because I didn't have to do any prep work. Wally had the prep work done for the entire crew, and I'm going to give him kudos. Wally was very good at his job. So there you go.
They became. I used to have to make them for every Sens broadcast, for every TSN broadcast. Anyway, so when the visiting markets like from the Jets came to town or Montreal, I would give them the notes and like, here's some, if just in case you need something. Shane Knighty would be like, "Do you have those notes ready?" Like 2 days before he came every time. Yeah.
Crazy. It was crazy.
The notes were good.
Yep.
That was then. This is now. And we got to get through the show here. All right. Graham, can you do a little?
Yeah, no problem. Shoeless Joe's.
All right.
Shoeless Joe's. Dailies deals that speak for themselves. Sunday to Thursday. Burgers, wings, cold beer, and solid prices. No fluff, just the good stuff. 5 nights a week. Shoeless Joe's daily deals means every day is a reason to show up. You have Wings Tuesday. Shoeless brings the heat. Wings starting at just $10. Game day bud deal. Canadian team on, then it's $9 buds all game long. Big Burger Energy Wednesday. Bring your appetite. Burgers start at $10 and they're massive. Shoeless isn't playing. Wine and flatbread Thursdays. Caesar Sundays. Shoeless Joe's. Daily deals, big flavor, and good times on repeat.
Burgers for $10 tomorrow. Anyway, don't forget tonight, get there for $9 beers and watch the game. Yorkie, you're next.
This show also brought to you by our good friends at BEI. Give them a call for equipment rentals, aggregate topsoil sales, as well as custom crushing, screening, hot mix paving. You can reach them at 613-432-1120 or online at monisherexcavating.com. BEI is helping to shape the Ottawa Valley.
And of course, as always, Bet365 is our proud presenting sponsor. And they've got you for tonight's game. So check out bet365.com for all the lines and matchups and parlays you want for tonight's game. Whatever your bet, it's never ordinary. Bet365, download the app and get on the game. An official partner of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Must be 19 or older, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, visit connectsontario.ca. Gentlemen, here are the lines for tonight's game, which could be the last one of the season. I'm taking Florida. I think it's over.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And it's sad because I don't know why. It always comes down to goaltending. I wanted to see playoff Leon and, to Diggy's point, McDavid get rewarded. But hey, nobody said the NHL is fair. So I think Florida puts the boots through them again tonight.
I already picked Edmonton, so I'm just going to say Edmonton.
That's it. That's all.
They're gonna
you don't feel it in your bones. You don't
Florida.
feel it.
I picked Florida to win, but it seems like every time a team gets waxed, they show up in the next one. So like I could see Connor McDavid going God mode and then having his way with Florida tonight, and then it's over in game 7. That's my take.
Do you know what's going to happen, Yorkie? Is I'm going to win the coming in hot playoff pool prediction. Mm-hmm. And therefore, I am going to take the smartest man in hockey nickname title.
Yeah, it's not your nickname is Salty Wally. It's not.
I meant to ask him who the saltiest player was he ever played with.
We'll get him on in the summer again. He just texted back. Diggy wants to play some golf, so we'll have to hook up golf this summer. See, you don't understand behind the scenes to get these guys. Like I have to. Nothing in life is
hardest working guy in Ottawa.
Nothing's for free, Wally. Like you think this stuff just happens magically and organically. Like there's
a little whining and dining.
Why the Daigle? Treat him well. Like there's things with the Daigle. Number one, no texts. The Daigle appreciates a phone call, so I have to call him. We can't text, and then when you call, he's so happy when you call. We chit chat. We talk about things. Daigle likes good chit chat too, and then he comes on the show because it's old school. Not enough people make a phone call nowadays, Graham.
That's true.
Always
true.
I hate voicemails though. If someone leaves me a voicemail, I rage.
No, I'm not listening. No, I don't leave it. You leave a text and you say,
Yorkie and I talk on the phone.
Wally, I'll say this about Wally. Wally's got some old school in him. He likes a good phone call too, and I like that about him.
Yeah, you can't always tell tone in a text message. Sometimes people I'm like, whoa, that's not what it was. Anyway.
No.
All your texts are angry. That's just the way I read it.
I know. I just get to the point. I don't have time to make a bunch of words, make everybody listen, are you coming or not? That's basically what it is.
You know who one of the simplest guys that sends the shortest text in the world is my older brother Jeff. It's like, yep, okay. Like it's never more than 3 words.
That.
Yeah, you'd appreciate you guys would be good text friends. Very short and to the point.
I don't need to have a long discussion. Lisa will start into, I'll be like, hey, do you know where the bag is? Well, yeah, I left it in the car because I need it. No, I don't. I just need to know where the bag is. Don't add extra words.
Where's the bag?
Next week on the show, big week. We're still working to finalize Monday, but Tuesday, it's a bigger. So we got, it'll be a 5 p.m. Eastern start time because we got to go to the West to get this player on.
When do Yorkie and I find out who it is?
Oh, it's a surprise. It's got to get the board. You got to have the fancy summer series thing, and all mystery.
I don't want to ruin it for you.
Yeah, that's okay. I can wait. Yeah.
Anyway, it'll be worth the wait.
We're never talking about the Sens this summit thing, right?
Graham's got all these. No,
you still want to talk?
Why would you're like, we're gonna talk about it? No,
it's 10:06.
I will just say, like, it was cool just to meet some people who recognize me off the pod. That was really fun. And then the only funny story I have. No, the only funny story I have is we were talking to an individual. I won't say who it was. It was Daniel Chisholm from the Senators. So, but it was me, Julian, and Alex Adams. Alex works for Sportsnet. Julian obviously works for The Athletic. And we were walking around the bowl, and we were just fraternizing. We were bumping into Daniel. And then he's like, hey, Alex, congratulations on your master's degree. And Alex is like, oh, thanks. And then Julian, he's like, oh, Julian, congratulations on your book. That's awesome. Julian's like, oh, thanks. And then he just looks at me. He's like, hey, Graham. Like, yeah, I got nothing. I have absolutely nothing happening right now.
And then
I take my kids to soccer, and that's it.
Came up to you and complained about your podcast.
Oh yeah, the lighting. Yeah, they're like, Graham, great to see you on the show. I have to say though, your lighting fucking sucks. Just like, yeah. Wally says that all the time too. So it's all good.
It's always good to keep people modest and humble.
Yeah. Although I got to so I did get an Instagram text today saying, "Hey, Graham, your lighting is way better today." So yeah, so there you go. The one you know what? There were a couple interesting points. But the one is the schedule being released later. Finally, they clued into this because they wanted to wait to see which free agents start to move different places. Therefore, they can set up more previews of games and more special nights and say, "Hey, this one's coming because we got the return of Brad Marchand to Boston," whatever. Anyway, so later schedule release is interesting for me. Not that it's a big deal. It's just interesting. And Wally also left early, so he missed like the jersey reveal, and you missed talking.
I saw the jersey reveal.
You left.
No, I watched it on the other side of the Vom, just on the way out. But I like it, sorta. It's okay. I'm not a big red jersey guy.
Apparently, Anlauer is. Like, he was a big driver. He wanted a red jersey.
I like the black.
Yeah, I like the black. I like the classic look, but I don't know. I still wish they'd bring back those Parliament jerseys as like
a Heritage Classic jerseys are amazing.
No brainer. Yeah.
They got some options. They can go to those like down the road, but
they're keeping that as like the wild card for later to bring it out. And I agree. I like that one too. You could do some cool stuff with that.
Yeah. The only problem is, and people point this out every time, is the big O in the middle. You ever win, right? And so I'm full on. I would wear the Heritage jersey all the time. Like I think that's my favorite of all.
I think sometimes I wish that like the league, like the NBA does it really well. I think the NFL does it quite a bit too. It's just like there's so many variations. You just kind of cycle them in and circle them. Like you don't have one alternate. You mix and match with several. So I wish the league would consider doing that. But
it is. It was good to see a bunch of people. Like you had like people come up to us to watch the show, and they were very nice and got to have a chat. So I did appreciate going there. It was a well-run event, so it was nice to see.
All right. Are we done here?
Yep, buddy.
Graham is going to bring up the Summit Series on Monday again. There's a few more things you'd like to discuss. So we're back next Monday. We're taking the rest of the week off. So enjoy, everybody. Yorkie, I hope your driveway or lane.
That's why I'm distracted. I got to get out there right now.
Are they going to paint lines on it for parking spots? Like how it?
Maybe a pickleball court.
Well, there you go. There you go.
I'll do
that. Mendes will be over all the time if that's the case.
Yes, he's a very good pickleball player.
See you, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Cheers.
Thanks for tuning in to Coming In Hot. If you enjoyed the show, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to never miss an episode.